What's good, internet? Jake here, dumb as ever, and early 3D animation was so weird. It looks so stiff and ancient by today's standards, and you have to wonder how kids enjoyed these shows at all. Well, I can tell you for a fact that kids just have no taste and will watch whatever. I know this because I grew up watching Butt Ugly Martians, a fully 3D show about some derpy aliens that come to conquer Earth, but they end up loving American culture instead, and they try to protect the planet from the other invading Martians. As you can see, the butt ugly part of the name refers to the animation, which looks notably worse than something like Beast Wars, a series 5 years older than Butt Ugly Martians. This was a show I watched a bunch as a kid. I had completely forgotten about it until I rediscovered it online years later. And man, I wish I had not done that. But since I have to remember it, I'm going to make my subscribers look at it too. And I also mainly want to talk about the Hasbro toy line for the show. So if that sounds like your sort of thing, sit back and relax. And please consider liking and subscribing while you're here. It ain't extra. Butt Ugly Martians is a 2001 3D animated show that aired on Nickelodeon. It's about 3 aliens named Tutti Frutti, Bebopaluna, and Doo-Wah Diddy. These names are kind of terrible, and I have been constantly forgetting them while trying to write this script. These Martians were sent to Earth by Emperor Bog to take over the planet, but once they arrived, they realized that Earth is lit as hell. So instead of taking it over, they just chill out and send Bog fake videos of them taking over the planet. They were doing the OG deepfakes. Emperor Bog's right-hand man and scientist, Dr. Damage, is suspicious of the Martians though, and sends his experiments to check on them frequently. The Butt Ugly Martians use their BKM suits to stop these threats. BKM stands for butt kicking mode, by the way, and they all do a henshin sequence whenever they summon their suits. The BKM suits are kind of cool, but they also feel like they're missing something design-wise. I also can't help but think of Invader Zim when I watch this show. They have extremely similar plots, they both came out on Nickelodeon, and Butt Ugly Martians came out right after Invader Zim ended. Talk about a downgrade. Butt Ugly Martians at least has a memorable theme song.
If you try to go too far,
you will see how tough we are.
if you try it anyway,
Then you're gonna hear me say,
BKM! Oh yeah!
BKM! BKM!
We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians. We are the Martians, the Butt Ugly Martians.
I watched episode 1 for this video, and man, I do remember watching the show, but I really didn't remember any details. Though, to be honest, the show is so boring and vapid that I really can't blame myself. Episode 1 starts off so boring. It's just the aliens and kids watching TV. It's just a very awkward and slow way to start a whole TV show. The best character is my goat, Stoat Muldoon. He's a reality television personality who is an alien hunter. Bizarrely, he's voiced by Robert Stack, who you might know as Ultra Magnus from Transformers the movie. I don't know how he ended up on this show, but he's one of the few voice performances I actually like. The first episode is pretty basic, as you might expect. Dr. Damage suspects that the Butt Uglies aren't being honest, so he sends down a robot he created called Klaktor, which sounds like an AI-generated name. The robot itself has like a 60s sci-fi vibe, which is kind of neat. I really can't express how boring the show is. There's so much standing around and talking, and when there is action, it's like fine, but the animation is so incredibly stiff that even the exciting parts are drab. The show sucks, plain and simple. I like the theme song, I like the little punching the alien does during the transformation sequence, and that's about it. I was also watching this promotional demo, and I thought this part was really funny.
With an upcoming promotion at fast food giant Burger King, a stellar internet presence, exciting universal home video releases, and intergalactic support from the Consumer Products Group, Butt Ugly Martians is destined to be the hottest property in the universe.
Narrator, it was not destined to be the hottest property in the universe. I love how hard they're trying to gas up a show called Butt Ugly Martians, but it was just too unfunny and uninteresting to really break out and become big. That being said, we do have a toy line to look at, so let's get into it. Burger King is America's favorite fast food chain to hate on, and yet they remain in business. Almost like some of you are fakes that actually love the Whopper. Anyway, BK had some banger kids meal toys back in the day. In my opinion, they sometimes did toys better than McDonald's. The Spider-Man 3 toys were awesome. I love the big head design, even though some of them looked a bit strange. The butt ugly Martian Burger King toys are like fine. There were a bunch of gimmicky ones as expected, like a toy of the robot dog with a Rotuka spinner, or this thing. Oh, I do like this weird one because Doo-Wah is holding some Burger King fries. I have no idea what he's meant to be doing though. Looks like he's hooked up to the Tubby Custard machine. But I do like the figures of the Martians that came with the BKM suits. They were cool because you could open the BKM suit and take the little Martian out. I think that's fun, and I feel like I had at least one of them. But there's so much more to look at in terms of butt ugly toys. For some reason, Hasbro hopped onto this train. I don't know who tricked them into thinking this was a good idea. They put out an entire toy line, though it seemingly only lasted for a year. They had a lineup of 2.5-inch minifigures of two different assortments. One assortment included Boggs, a play on the popular 90s fad toy Pogs. If you're my age, this would be the equivalent of referencing silly bands 4 years after the fad died. Very timely of you, Hasbro. The minifigures look alright, though this is not really an enticing cast of characters. Every pack looks like a Star Wars Glup Shido convention. I do miss when minifigure packs like this were a standard. It was a good way to get a bunch of figures as a kid. Now it feels like most minis are blind bag things. These minifigures were also packed with supposedly collectible cards, though their design is so terrible. It looks like they gave the job of designing these cards to their graphic design intern. But let's move on to the more interesting toys. The Butt Ugly Martians also had an action figure line, and these figures actually look pretty good. At least good, as in they look like the character models with the decent articulation. We of course have our three Martians, who again look really close to the show. Honestly, I think they look a bit better than the show. The in real life plastic texture unironically looks better than the weird 3D textures they were using. Each alien also has a different head sculpt, and even their bodies, which are very similar but slightly different, are accurately sculpted on the toy versions. Bebop is buff, 2T has kind of a regular body, and Doo-Wah is a bit overweight, so that attention to detail is pretty nice. The articulation doesn't look half bad either. Arm, elbow, leg, and knee joints are all present. The exposed pins on the joints are a bit ugly, but you can just imagine they're details of the spacesuit or something. All three butt uglies come with this weird frying pan looking weapon. Not sure what they're meant to be, but I'm probably just a fake fan. In addition to the Martians were two human characters. There's Mikey, one of the kids that the butt uglies hang out with. I hate the way they modeled his spiky hair on the show. It just looks so weird and kind of gross to me. Like he has Bart Simpson hair, but he let it grow out, so it just looks gross. I don't know. The toy actually does a great job of making it look better. Once again, the toy looks better than the show itself. His belt buckle is also a lot more prominent and cartoony on the toy. He also comes with a hoverboard and a helmet, and the hoverboard can shoot a missile from the front. The other human figure is the one and only Stoat Muldoon. Yes, my goat got his very own action figure. He looks pretty much one for one to the show. Weirdly sculpted face wrinkles and all. He comes with a rocket launcher as well as one of his alien hunting gizmos. Both Stoat and Mikey have less articulation than the Martians, which is unfortunate. We also had some deluxe figures. The only new characters in the deluxe line came in a 2-pack, featuring Dr. Damage and Klaktor. Dr. Damage is really lacking in articulation. With just the basics present, Klaktor looks fairly accurate to the cartoon, just a goofy, chunky looking robot. In the show, Klaktor is a self-regenerating robot, so the toy can fall apart and be put back together, which is kind of a neat gimmick. And at least the Butt Uglies had a couple proper villain toys in the first and only wave. Speaking of the Martians, the rest of the deluxe figures are based around them. 2 of the deluxe packs are hover bikes, which are used in the show, and the hover bikes come with their respective Martians, which is good. I hate when vehicle toys are sold without a driver. Despite having different names, both hover bikes are exactly the same in different colors. I do like that the Martians come with the little space helmets as well. The hover bikes seem neat but are not really my thing. It is unfortunate Doo-Wah didn't get his own bike to complete the trio, likely due to the line ending after the first wave. However, I am very much interested in the final toys we'll be looking at, the BKM suits, which look kind of cool actually. They stand at about 7 inches tall, though they're mostly static pieces, with only their arms moving at the shoulder. But hey, it's a mech suit and you can put your Martian in it, which is a very compelling play pattern to me. You can put your Martians in through the back, or you could take the helmet off the BKM suit and put them in through the top. Each BKM suit is also slightly different. Mostly the shoulder and leg armor is changed, and the Martians themselves are sporting silver pants instead of black. I do have a theory. A toy theory, if you will. I think the 2T and Bebop figures had a regular mass retail release, but I also think that Doo-Wah either had a really short release or only came out in other countries, because there are hardly any pictures or listings for the Doo-Wah BKM set. So much so that I thought he didn't have one until I discovered a couple eBay listings. I'm glad he does have a figure though, and you can get the complete set of the Martians and their BKM armor. If you wanted to, anyway. But Ugly Martians was a flash in the pan. It came and went, leaving no real impact, aside from being a stray memory for people my age. As much as I dislike the cartoon, I really can't hate on it too much. Sure, it was ugly and boring, but aren't we all sometimes? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. And if you'd like to support me further, I have a YouTube membership and Patreon. For $1 a month, both give you the same thing. Access to my member-exclusive podcast where I talk to other content creators about toys and YouTube. My next episode is going to feature the GOAT of Skybound Transformers content, Delta Tryon. So stay tuned for that. And you also get an invite to my super chill Discord server. Alright y'all, I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.